Coach, you started off this week?
Yeah, just thought our defense was, once again, really, really good. We had a goal coming into the game to try to hold number 4, Saeed Pritchett, to 13 or less. He ended up getting 15. The guys were a little bit tired of hearing it all week since our last game, but we had a siren go off in all of our preparations anytime Saeed Pritchett in the scout team touched the ball. Just to make sure that we did not allow a guy that came in here as one of the nation's leading scorers to get clean looks. And I thought, his 7 turnovers was really, really vital for us defensively. And, we did not shoot the ball well at all. We weren't pretty offensively tonight. But that's what you have to do on nights that you can't score is you got to up your defensive intensity. And, again, Montana really, really struggled from three-point area with our defense, and I thought we did a great job closing out the shooters and not giving them any clean looks. And once again, we want to clean up our turnovers a little bit better. We're about 4 or 5 over where I'd like to be. And then obviously we got a defensive rebound. I think the biggest thing with our defensive rebounding is just understanding that when you hold teams to such low field goal percentage, you've got to really crash. There's more opportunities for the other team to get offensive putbacks.
Eric, Adrio had his first double-double career high, and I think 9 rebounds was his previous high. Just what did you think of his game all around?
Yeah, I think that he's doing a phenomenal job. When he plays that center spot, he's just so quick off the floor. I thought his offensive rebounds were phenomenal. I mean, he had one off a missed free throw that was awesome. He's a guy that has the ability on our team to range rebound. And I thought he played a great all-around game. I mean, we played through him a little bit more tonight. He had the ball in his hands a little bit early in the game. We felt like he had a quickness matchup against number 23, Mac Anderson, and felt like he could maybe outreact him to the glass, and he went ahead and did that, certainly on the offensive boards.
Coach, could you evaluate Mason's play through 3 games? He's kind of been a constant on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. I mean, 2 of our last 3 games, he's done a really good job late game as we've kind of milked the clock, running him in middle pick and rolls. And so you got your 4-man handling the ball in pick and rolls, which most 4-men that are guarding him, they're not used to that. And so I think it causes a little bit of matchup problems, and he's done a great job of converting his free throws. He's so crafty and kind of herky-jerky and stop and start, change his speeds. He does a great job of understanding how to get the defense off its feet to draw FTAs, free throws attempted. And, that's one thing that we're really happy with offensively tonight. We finally got to the foul line, which in the past has been a big part of our team, is getting a lot of 3-ball attempts and then mixing it in and being a high-volume free throw attempt team. In the first 2 games, we were disappointed in our FTAs and not getting to the line more.
Glad to see how they compensated for Isaiah's off night for shooting.
I thought Isaiah was off the charts great defensively. I mean, he guarded Pritchett some. He guarded Manuel, who's a transfer from Oregon State, and a guy that had some good years for the Beavers in Oregon State, and sometimes your shot just doesn't fall. We didn't tell him to stop shooting. We wanted him to continue to shoot, but again, he rebounded the basketball and thought he did a really, really great job for us defensively.
Who played Saeed on your scout team? Where do you get a siren for practice? And I guess who did you think did the best? You guys were switching around, obviously. Who all did you think did a good job on him?
Jimmy Witt started on him and guarded him a lot. Then Mason went to him about the 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark of the second half, and did a really, really good job. And then Isaiah was on him a little bit. So that whole group, and Pat Eckerman somehow found a siren somewhere, and we were able to utilize that.
Who played him in practice?
A multitude of guys, but mainly Reggie. Okay. Yep, we felt like Pritchett was strong, and he plays in the mid-post so much that we thought Reggie would be a good look for us.
Coach, it seems like your team does a great job in terms of sense of urgency and recognizing how possession basketball is so critical both ends of the floor. But in particular, you guys are up 40-33, and there was a possession there where you had a bunch of rebounds, And it was just the way you were able to close out this game. What do you think about the way you guys were able to close out tonight?
Yeah, certainly. We've been in kind of 2 games where that thing was right at 7 or 8, and if you don't get a defensive rebound or you don't get a stop, that thing can get to 5 or 4. And one of the things that we talk to our team about, we come in every day. First thing we do at practice, we start talking about the upsets around the country that happen, or teams that let people hang around and don't close games, and then they look up at the scoreboard and you're like, wow, we just lost a game. And so we have great respect for everybody we play. We walked in that locker room tonight. We talked about Montana for about 2 minutes, and then we went right into Texas Southern. And their depth charts up on our chalkboard when they walk in after every game. The next team's opponents up on our board, and there's some key notes about who we play next. And it's on to Texas Southern and how can we beat them. And so I think just the players understanding how the coaching staff is I don't know what word to use, my wife would say uptight about every game, and having great respect for them, and building up your opponent, and really finding the strengths of the team that you're playing and trying to emphasize those to your basketball team instead of talking about things that maybe they're deficient at. We really stress things that the opponents do really well each and every game.
Desi, he still hadn't hit a 3, but he's doing other things. He's scoring other ways, getting some steals, getting some boards. Just what do you thought of him these first 3 games, even though he hadn't hit a 3 yet?
Yeah, I think his energy's been great. I think he's not that there's no quarters in this game, obviously, but if you kind of simulate like a fourth quarter, he's come in and made big defensive plays, and kind of that last 10 minutes has given us some easy baskets in transition, whether it's a defensive deflection. He's done a great job of attacking the rim in transition on that left side of the floor, and his shot's going to fall. I mean, we just want him to keep shooting them and shoot them with confidence.
And then you alluded to the defense. This is 3 straight games under 50. Did you anticipate that, or did you see that coming, or just what do you think about that?
I mean, this is they've really bought into the game plan defensively. Hopefully we can keep buying in on a nightly basis. But I think they really like playing defense. I think they've really quickly got a grasp of what we're trying to do defensively. And there's areas we got to get better. In some areas as well, but I think contesting shots and understand the importance of every defensive possession, they've been really, really good so far.
Box scores is correct. Only 7 players got in tonight. Is that something you think you'll continue to stay with? And what about fatigue level moving forward? Playing that few.
Yeah, I think if you go look at the box scores at Nevada for the last 4 years. Probably going to see 7.5 guys, meaning 7 or 8 guys. Every coach, every program has their own philosophy on that. I'd rather have a tired Isaiah Joe shooting than somebody else. So we'll roll with however many players we think it takes to win on that night. I might be one of few coaches that believe that 30 college games, 18 to 22-year-old people that play 1 or 2 games a week are able to play 37 minutes. I come from a completely different world where you play 82 games and you get in at 2 o'clock in the morning and you wake up and play a game at 4 in the afternoon sometimes on weekends. So I think you got to use your bench in the NBA. Although Tom Thibodeau would probably disagree. But here, we're not going to just pass out minutes to pass out minutes. You got to earn them in practice, and you got to earn them understanding the game plan. And then when your number's called, you just got to be ready to play.
Final question, Bob? Yeah, I think Mason still hadn't missed a free throw. I think he's 17-17 the last 2 games, and then he was whatever that first game. What do you thought of that? He's been perfect so far.
Bob, don't jinx him. We're not supposed to talk about that. He's been great from the charity stripe, and we don't want to talk about it because it's kind of like a baseball hitter that's hot.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Yep, thank you, guys.
I want to set the screen.